I'm Wendy, Bree's mom, and this morning, we're going to do part 2 of the bean recipes. We did the azuki bean one, and now today we're going to be doing lentils, green lentils, and we're going to be doing garbanzo beans or chickpeas. It goes by both names. First, I'm going to start with the garbanzo bean or chickpea recipe. The first thing you do is pour some of these on a plate, a cup. Let's go with a cup, 4 cups of water, on a plate, and anything that doesn't look as good as the others, has dark spots on it or anything, you discharge them. You just get rid of those because their energy is just not there. The same thing, then you take the garbanzo, and I'm trying different things, but usually I've always soaked them overnight, 6 hours minimum. Okay, so if you're going out in the day, you can soak them during the day, or just go to bed and soak them. If they're 8 hours, that's fine. I don't usually get more than 6 hours sleep. Anyway, so then you soak them. If you see anything while you're washing them in a bowl like this, you wash them before you soak them overnight. So if you notice any of the beans floating to the surface, just get rid of them because the energy is not the energy you want for your children. So now these have been soaked overnight. You can cook these without soaking them overnight, which I will talk about. So to prepare this dish, we've sorted through them on a plate, thrown out the bad ones, clean them maybe 3 times, just running under the water with your hands going through the bowl. Empty that out, use a sieve so you don't lose any, and then soak them overnight. I will not use the soaking water when I'm cooking. I now have in this big pot about 6 cups of water. I will add some kombu to that. Now I'm not pre-soaking this kombu because it's fine like it is. I'd say about that much. I'll just rinse it quickly under the tap and add it to the pot. Now in the sea vegetable, Bree's sea vegetable, miso soup and sea vegetable, I've talked about kombu before. Kombu sea vegetable, first of all, this is a great way putting it in a stew, bean stew, or making a broth from it so that you can get it into your family without anybody going, what's this? These are sea vegetables, are some of the highest nutrients foods on the planet, and they're full of your minerals, so you want them. And kids that have trouble swallowing, kombu broth is wonderful. And what I've done now could also be a soup broth, what I'm doing now. Boil it for 10 minutes, you've got a soup broth going. Kombu adds to whatever it's cooked with. So it's almost like it ups the ante on the nutrient level on all the vegetables you put into the bean stew. And it's anti-cancerous. All these sea vegetables are anti-tumor, good stuff. So now what I'm going to add to the pot, you could, if you wanted, saute this in a little sesame oil ahead of time, but I'm not going to use any oil in this. And so first of all, the garlic that goes in, a clove of garlic to get the hard skin off. For those that don't know, you just put the knife over it like that, flat, go like that, and this skin will peel off very easily. I'm just saying this for anybody who the whole experience of cooking is new. And then I'm going to use a garlic press. You could mince it by hand. There are different people say different things on this. I think the book Eating Wild, I think it is, talks about using the garlic press. So there we go. That's in there. So now the next thing is I'm going to use some celery. These are very, very small, some of these. So I'd say about 4 celery stalks, and I'm just sliced down through them, and I'm just dicing them now. Beans are slow burning energy, So it's like it'll give you that energy all day long, not like sugar that creates an up and down yo-yo effect on your body. And these are so strengthening. Here we go. So the celery's in the pot. Now I am going to use onion. Now look at the different sizes right now. This is a huge one. So either 2 small ones or 1 big one. So this is what I mean by that. You take off the, go through the top where it's attached and just peel the skin off like this. Beautiful. Take this off. And then I'm going to just dice this onion. So right through the top like that. And dice it through. Beans combined with any grain makes a complete protein. You have all the amino acids your body needs with the grain and the bean mix. So this whole hype on where do you get your protein, this is what people who are eating vegan and macrobiotic, although macrobiotic, if your condition is good, we do eat fish a couple of times a week, if your condition is good. You know, there is protein in all grains, all beans, vegetables, nuts, seeds. So it's just the hype of the dairy board and the meat, the cattle people. It's their hype to believe you need all this protein. You know, traditionally, animal food was only 10% of our daily intake. Now it's usually, at least in the standard North American diet, it's the majority of the intake. And the problem with that is an acid-alkaline balance. Animal food of all kinds is acid. And so we'll create acid. And I'm talking about eggs, I'm talking about dairy products, cheese, milk, all those things. They're all acid forming. And what means is disease and sickness is created when your body is too acid. So my point with all this is always to somehow create alkalinity, a more alkaline body. And stress alone in our world is acid. So in our lifestyle, I do my best to create, you'll see, a lot of alkalinity. Okay, so we have in this garbanzo bean stew, we're going to have the garlic, the onion, the celery, which is garlic, onion, and celery are sautéed, are base for many, many dishes. I'm going to put a little bit of daikon radish, which clears out old animal protein from your body. It's a wonderful, it's a radish, it's a Japanese radish. So I've got a piece here that I'm going to do what I call a roll cut. So I'm going to slice through at an angle, like that. Then I'm going to roll it, slice through again, roll it, slice through again, and it creates, some people might go, well, why, what the heck, why bother? Aesthetic to the eye. When you have your vegetables cut in different way, it creates all kinds of wonderful different energies. Keep it, like when I first went to Misho Kushi for Bree's consultation, and I asked how I should eat as her mom so I could be a better cook for her, he said eat wide, which means variety of vegetables, a variety of the grains and beans, and even the way to cut. So now this will go in here. And then we have some parsnips, which I'm going to put in. I think this is such a big parsnip that I'll cut right down through the length of it. And I'll do half moons with this. Half moons mean you go right down and then slice it like this through. There we go. Oh, I want to talk about something as I'm preparing this. Your knife and your cutting board, very important. I have a bamboo one here. And for clean, never on your wooden cutting board put animal food. Okay, this is strictly a vegetable cutting board. If you're going to fish or anything, get maybe a plastic board or something. Also, to clean this, you don't need any detergent. Get a bottle of white vinegar. White vinegar will disinfect. You don't have any worry about that. And then your kid isn't getting residues of some toxic chemical. Half moon. There we go. So this will go in. This parsnip smells good. Vegetables all smell good as you start cutting through them. And so cutting board, a good cutting board, and a good knife. When I started macrobiotics, you got to realize it's way over 30 years now. And I wish I had known about this before I was even pregnant with Bree. I had a knife, let me see, heavier than this one. But anyway, maybe I'm trying to look for a knife that would give you an idea. Probably double the weight of this one. But if you can see, this is a much bulkier knife than this knife. I love this one. My ideal knife would be the rectangular one, which is straight off at the... Anyway, I thought that knife was awesome. But you've got to realize that when I started this whole way of eating, I was really, I'd been through 4.5 years with Bree, hospitals, ambulances, sickness, sleepless nights, seizures, pneumonia, you name it, teething. So I was just, I still can be like that. But anyway, when I started, I had this heavy knife that was really a guy knife. But I didn't know anything about energies. I didn't know that diet could change you. I didn't know anything. All I knew when Bree was born was that I wasn't going to give her sugar. I didn't know why. I didn't know it suppresses your immune system for 2 hours every time you have sugar. I didn't know that, but I knew it wasn't good. And the other thing was I was going to make all her food and I was going to breastfeed her. And I did breastfeed her for a year. I wish I had done it for 2 to 3 years, actually. I made all her food. I would have a pot of carrots and blender it up and freeze it in ice cubes. Then I'd have a bag of carrots, a bag of beans, a bag of whatever. I used to even give her meat then. And I had it all in the freezer ready to go. But I made it. There were no additives, no chemicals. She has never had a canned food. Anyway, getting back to the knives was because it's really important for Mom, hopefully Mom, to eat this way too. I don't take Bree and make her different. This is the family situation. The family gets healthier together. As time went on and I got, the food healed me and made me more relaxed, and neither one of us is on any medication whatsoever. And I absolutely credit it to the foundation of the food. Because otherwise, I'd be really out there, I guarantee you. After almost 35 years, April 2nd, of caregiving and looking after Bree, yeah, I would be probably heavily medicated. The only thing is, the biggest side effects of antidepressant drugs is suicide. So, anyway, so as time went on, and I changed, this knife that I thought was the best in the world, I couldn't believe I had used it. It was so heavy. It felt so cumbersome. So you change. I've seen people change. Their facial features change. It's just awesome, the power of food. Now I am going to add some burdock to this. I'm just trying to find a burdock in here. This poor burdock needs to be used. Burdock looks like this. Okay, it's very dark. You want the thinner ones. Sometimes you go to the store and they're this huge in a round. Those are old. You don't want those. You want, they can be, say, 2 to 3 times this diameter in round, and those are fine. And then you can just wash everything. Everything is organic. Bottom line, herbs, everything by organic. You can wash it with a vegetable buzz, and or you can peel it with a vegetable peeler. And then this is very strengthening. These round vegetables are good for the middle of your body. The long vegetables like these two and the parsnips are good for the lower part of your body, very strengthening. And then the leafy greens and even broccoli are good for this upper area. So I am going to dice this up. And the nice thing about beans and bean stews, which are the two things I'm going to do today, is they're very comforting food and very strengthening. This is where you can get all your wonderful root vegetables in here. And you can mix it up. When I go to the grocery store, my cart is overloaded with vegetables. And, if someone's looking for me or wants to talk to me for some reason, go find the lady with the greens and overflowing in her cart. It is my definitely big buy. I will explain to you, we eat in different forms, minimum of 10 would be a low day, to 20 different vegetables a day. Alkalining, that's one of the ways I want to get as much alkaline into our system. All right, so we've got the onion, celery, garlic, we got parsnips, we got some daikon, we got some burdock. Now I will drain off the chickpeas or garbanzos, and I will put them in the pot. This will take about an hour and a half. This is a longer one. These green lentils will take 45 minutes to an hour. They're fast. Get these in. They're going, the combo's in there. Now, I will come back in a bit and I will add some herbs. I will talk about the herbs I'm going to use. The other thing I wanted to mention was you can also cook these without pre-soaking for the 6 hours or overnight. But it's important what you do. You put them on a plate, take the bad ones out, rinse them 3 times in water, and don't use the rinsed water to cook them in. Then put them in a pot. Say you have 1 cup of chickpeas, do 4 cups of water with the kombu. Bring it to a boil. Now boil it without the cover for 15 minutes. Make sure it's 15 minutes because that is replacing the 6 hours of pre-soaking. Then after the 15 minutes, you turn it down. It will still take as long to cook, about an hour and a half. About an hour into it, you will add the seasoning, the salt or the tamari. And that will cook perfectly also that way. I just, with sick kids, really like to, if someone's really, really sick, I like to pre-soak. And all of these foods that I'm making and have made on the other videos, and specifically for families in my situation, but for anybody who's sick, and these are for anybody who wants to change their diet. This is a beginning place. Yes, healing food are more bland because, they're really, really simple. When I say clean food, I mean no packages, no cans, no preservatives, no high fructose corn syrup, no MSG, no sugar. These are the straight foods, and your taste buds are going to change. I'll give you an example of that, but sometimes people will eat, they're so used to the North American diet or the SAD, that's the short form, SAD diet, which is interesting that the initials spell SAD, is that these companies are not there for your health. They're there to make money. And they want you to eat as much of their food as possible, so they put additives and preservatives and sugar and sweetening in. so that you become addicted to the food. I remember, I give you a simple example of how I noticed my taste buds had changed. I was like, peanut butter was my thing as a child. Peanut butter and cheese sandwiches, oh my God. Anyway, so I would say a year or so, not more, into macrobiotics. I was at a friend's house. I had a ski school, I was a ski instructor. And anyway, we were at one of the instructors' houses for supper, and I was looking in the closet for the cupboard for peanut butter, and they had like a jar of Jiffy. So in the meantime, changing macrobiotically, I only ate peanut butter organic with no additives, nothing in it except the peanut and the oil from the peanut. So that's what I was now used to 2 years later. I tried their Jiffy just out of curiosity, and my taste buds had changed so much to tasting the real essences of food. It tasted bad. It tasted, the sugar in it, it was like, oh my God, I just went, this is awful. For someone who loved peanut butter as much as I do, but now my taste buds had changed. I was used to, you know, within a year you start going, oh my God, this food just tastes so good. So now this is going to be cooking. I'm going to turn it down, put a cover on it. I'll come back in a bit and season it with some herbs. And then we'll go on to the lentil dish. So now we're going to add the Garbanzo chickpea stew. It's cooking with the vegetables and the kombu. We're going to add 3 herbs to it. I buy all my herbs organic. It's very important. This is another where there's tons of nutrients, tons of healing benefits from these herbs. Oregano, I'm going to put some oregano, let's say a teaspoon of each. I just pour it in the cap and eyeball it. So oregano is for infections. Alzheimer's. So, you know, you're dealing with our profoundly handicapped children, or our brain injured children, as I like to call it, because it's a brain injury either before, during, or after birth. It can happen to any one of us. So if it works for Alzheimer's, which is a brain, you know, a malfunction, a lot of people say it's a nutrient deficiency, then hey, let's put it in. This is, oregano is good for any kinds of infections, colds, Alzheimer's, anti-cancer, a huge list. So I'm adding that, and then I'm going to put some basil. Basil helps with anti-aging. It helps with stress. Our children are going through a lot of stress, as are we. There's actually a tea called holy basil tea, or tulsi tea, which I can show you, which is an anti-stress. I'll drink that many times in the evening as Bree's in bed and everything's quieting down, because Mom, we have to look after ourselves too, to do the job we're doing, and I ignored that. I just pushed ahead for decades, you know, until I crashed. Digestibility, I don't know if I said that, so I'll just do the same. Add the basil. And basil, rosemary, thyme, oregano, marjoram, they all complement each other. And then rosemary. Rosemary is fights Lou Gehrig's, Alzheimer's. Oh, big thing. It fights the ravages of free radicals in the brain. So our kids, important. Rosemary, okay? And I will do the same thing. We got 3 nice herbs in here. Organic, please, please, please. Now, and I'll just stir that in a bit. This is doing the, oh my goodness, that smells so good with the herbs added. It's lovely. Okay. So, top on that continue. Now we're going to do the green lentil dish. And I've got the vegetables washed with a vegetable brush. I've got any parts that didn't look so great cut off, as you can tell. And the first thing I'm going to put in, I've got about 4 or 5 cups of water coming to a boil. Now in this stew, in the green lentil stew, I'm going to use the sea vegetable wakame. And this is the one I showed in another video. It's wakame. This has got tons of calcium. It is the second highest in calcium next to another sea vegetable called hijiki. This has got this vein running through the middle, which you won't want to eat. So what I do is I slice down both sides nicely. And you know, this is a great way to get your family started on sea vegetables because it will just blend in to with the bean dish, you know. I mean, and if they're fussy, if they're that fussy that they actually pick out that, well, how were you eating when they were in utero, and you know, what kind of North American diet, you know, because that's the only way to reject such awesome foods as this, is you've got a jaded palate from too much sugar and salt and high fructose corn syrup and all the additives. So I dice that up, put it right in the boiling water. So this one has the wakame, and it's also anti-tumor. So what I'm cutting, because as you reconstitute it, the combo I didn't have to, it went right in the pot. But this one I wanted to dice up before I went into. I probably used that much dry to put in what I'm putting. And I just made an order from the place I get my kombu, wakame, and silky sea palm. I ordered a ½ pound of silky sea palm, a ½ pound of wakame, and a ½ pound of kombu. Beautiful stuff from oceanharvest.com. They're out of Mendocino, I think it is, Mendocino, California. It's a family. I like little family businesses. Maybe it's because I was born in the back of a restaurant and my parents, it was a family business. I just ordered 3 pounds. This is a half a pound of the silky sea palm. It comes like this. And then I send her a check and we're good to go. So, and probably about 3 times a year I do that. Now, in this lentil stew, we're going to have onion diced up. Now, as I'm talking, you know, and bean soups, bean miso soups are wonderful too. I showed you how to make an aduki one, or azuki on the azuki bean part 1. A great green lentil one would be green lentils, say a cup, and 2 cups of sliced up leek, a tablespoon of minced ginger, and a tablespoon of minced garlic with the water, and I would do the kombu stock for those that have listened to the other videos, and miso it at the end. It's great. Now I've got Brussels sprouts here. They're so tiny, I'm not even going to cut them in half. Normally you take the little root off the bottom, and if any leaves don't look good, you just peel them off, sort of like an onion. And but these are so tiny, they're just going to go right in the pot. And then this is a rutabaga. Okay, the one with the purple top is a purple top turnip. So this is the difference. And I love getting these, you know, because we have leafy greens every day. This is the way to get all these wonderful root vegetables in. This I'm just going to dice up too. And but what a way to start getting sea vegetables into your family is through bean stews. It's a great way. The kombu stocks. And you just start getting all those wonderful benefits. So yes, I was also thinking that children that are on feeding tubes and stuff, I mean, as long as it's liquid, it can go into your child. And I thought about any of this. I blender all Bree's food up. I mean, you'll see 2 complete plates at the end to give you an idea of what a complete meal consists of. But everything, I put it through the NutriBullet or a bit, and then sometimes I also, because I don't want her to choke, I then put it through the NutriBullet, then I'll put it in a baby food mill to make sure it's just watery. So, you know, you can get it down to water size. You can make broths that are vegetable broths. Nothing in them, just you making them. You can do one with cabbage, a carrot, cabbage, carrot, onion, and winter squash. Dice everything up, put it in a big pot of water. Let's say you cook it for about 20 minutes, and then take off the vegetables, and you've got a wonderful, nurturing broth that I'm sure could go through a feeding tube. I mean, if mother's milk can. All right, I'm going to do the roll cut on this one. You just cut and roll it halfway. Cut, so it ends up looking like that, sort of like a triangle. That's a roll cut. Keep the variety going. And then this one gets so big, the parsnip, at the end that I will cut through it and just do half triangles like this. We sure steam up the kitchen when you start cooking here. And the sweet potato. Cut it through. You could put carrot. This is the one thing. Any of these, like the green lentils, another dish just to mix it up. Green lentil stew would be onion and winter squash. Would be a wonderful combination. Also onion, winter squash, and the Brussels sprouts. This is the winter squash, which I've shown before. You cut it in half, lie it down, and take the skin off if you're taking it off, away from you. And then take the seeds out with a spoon, soup spoon, and then just cut it up in nice sized chunks, and you're ready to go in a stew. But any of these, the root vegetables, you know, your rutabagas, your purple top turnips, cabbage, the winter squashes, the parsnips, carrots, daikon. I'm trying to make sure I remember everything. This is just use them up, get them in there. The variety, I at the end of the day, you know, I go, okay, I think there are 5 vegetables just in this one. That's just this dish. But when I present the dishes at the end. Now, I've got the lentils in here. I'm just giving them a wash. And what I'll do so I don't lose them is I'll take a sieve and just so I can catch them, any that want to go there. There, perfect. I give them a rinse 3 times. They'll be fine. There we are. Done. And, you know, please, it's so easy, all of this, if I can do it, you can do it. There we go. This is going to come. Bree is getting impatient. It's time to take a break. I'll put sweet potatoes in there, bring it to a boil, lower the heat, put a cover on it, and that'll take about 45 minutes to an hour. I will come in on both these dishes about a half an hour before they're finished, or 15 minutes, and I will season either with a teaspoon of salt each, or I will probably use the tamari. I really like this. And so I'll probably put, for Bree, a capful of this in each, and take her portion out and come back and add another capful or 2 for the rest of the family. So now we have finished, the beans have finished cooking. And if you're ever wondering, are they cooked, put a spoon in, take a bean out, taste it. It's soft. It's done. Okay, so it's easy. You can do this. So what I did with the garbanzo beans is about 15-20 minutes before they were done, I tasted them. They had a little bit more to do. They just weren't quite soft enough. And you don't want them mushy, but you want that you can eat it. I put in some chopped up parsley, maybe a half a cup, and I put in some tamari, 2 teaspoons, let's say. And then I'll take out Bree's and her portion, I'll blend it up, add it to the rest of her food, and then I can season it more for the family. Then you can put in this Bragg's sprinkle for the rest of the family. But Bree doesn't eat tomatoes, so this has some tomato, apple cider. Good stuff, but not for healing purposes. But better than most of the other stuff out there. What I'm going to do right now is the last thing to go in to the lentil stew is some broccoli flowerlets, which I'm just going to put in here. I have seasoned it with some thyme, and I have, say, 2 teaspoons of thyme, and also some tamari, 2 teaspoons. Okay, so that, I'll just cover that. That'll be done in a second. And I just want to say about the stem of the broccoli, so we don't lose it, is you can just cut off the bad parts and cut off this rough outer skin. Pretty much go like that, and see, it'll come off. That's too hard to eat. And then I will put this in a stir fry. I'll put it in a soup stock. I will put it in something. I'll dice it up, slice through it, dice it up, and that will be used for sure. All right, that'll go in the compost. So I just wanted to mention that about the broccoli stems. Also, if you want to use it in the same dish, that's exactly what you do. You take off the hard skin, and then what I would do is slice it at an angle. I better do it all to be able to do that. And you would slice it at an angle like that, and then to make the matchsticks you slice through like this, and you could use it in the same dish. You just want it to be small enough so it cooks along with the rest. This is probably, yeah, it's bright green, it's almost done. Talking about thyme, organic again please. Thyme will actually fight that bacteria that they're having in hospitals now. You spell it M-R-S-A, Marsar, I guess it's called. This is great for infections, bronchitis, influenza. So, you know, put it in your bean dishes, put it in, sprinkle it in. It's also what you can do if you want to use it at a higher medicinal level is you can make a tea, a thyme tea. And how you would do that, if you have fresh thyme, you use a tablespoon. Bree is getting in on the conversation here. And take a tablespoon of the fresh in a mug of boiling water and let it sit there for 3 minutes, and then just drain off the thyme, and you've got a thyme tea. And if you're going to use the organic dried thyme, use a teaspoon in it. Same thing. Then after the 3 minutes, strain it off. So pay attention to some of these awesome herbs we have. They are medicinal. And so now what I have, this is done, I know it. Yeah, beautiful bright green. And I'll just mix this up a bit. And I guess I'll do it with this spoon. Between sections, always you want to end up with a clean kitchen. You clean as you go. Good cook cleans as they go. So I'll just take some of this, and this will go on this plate, and then I'll explain something to you. I want to show you complete plates so you get an idea. And all this is blended up for Bree. Okay. All right, so there we have. I have my supper. Bree has her supper. what I want to explain to you is this is the lentil. The red is sauerkraut made from red cabbage. Beautiful stuff. This comes from this company, which is the Real Pickles. I think they're out of Massachusetts. They make a green one and the red one. It's just, I look for colors. It's just beautiful and tastes wonderful. Then we have a raw salad. We have the millet fried like I did in the millet, the grain. Grain dishes, Bree's Grain Dishes Part 2 tells you how to do this. And then I have a sea vegetable, hijiki, which is the highest in calcium. So, next to the wakame. And there is wakame in here, so you got really 2 high calcium. So what I want to talk about is how many vegetables are in here. I'm talking about acid alkaline. Because ideally, an acid body will create disease, and an alkaline body is creating health. So you want your plate to be 2/3 alkalining foods and 1/3 acid foods. All animal food, all dairy products, your milk, your cheese, your eggs, your chicken, fish, beef, bacon. Bacon's the worst because the nitrates and the stuff in that. Bacon, according to the blood type people, is not good for any blood type. So it's just, whether it tastes good or not, I look for nutrient-rich foods that are going to support my body, help it heal itself. So that's, on this plate, there were about 5 vegetables in the stew, 3 in the millet, 2 in the hijiki, 4 in the salad and the cabbage. There was a good 15 vegetables in that plate. I make grain. Grain is slightly acid, but nowhere near animal food. And but by adding vegetables to it, I am making it more alkaline. And this is complete protein. This is a grain and a bean. Has all the amino acids to support the body, okay, and its healing and its growth. Then this plate has the Garbanzo chickpea stew, which had also 5 or 6 vegetables in it, with the parsley on top, which is full of magnesium. I put that in at the end, full of magnesium, full of calcium, vitamin C. All the vegetables that I've read so far have vitamin C in them. This also is the hijiki, the pickle, always a little bit of pickle, and this is steamed greens, leafy greens every day, steamed leafy greens. Here it's actually a combo of curly kale, lacinato kale, and collard greens. And then I made a rice, which you'll see on the rice, how to make rice on the rice video. I made a rice with chestnuts, because it's this time of year. Now, you could have made rice with seeds, nuts. You know, if you're cooking rice, you want to put almonds. You put the almonds in cooking with the rice. If you add a seed like a ground up pumpkin seed or a sesame seed or a sunflower seed, you do that at the end. And I've showed you how to dry roast seeds on other videos. The chestnuts are a delicacy at this time of year, and I love to order them. I get them from the Kushi store, and I'm sure Goldmine Whole Foods has it, which you can order online. They come from the LADD Family Farm. Why I'm bringing this up specifically, because this is the only farm in the United States that you can get organic chestnuts from. They are the only ones that pretty much supply the whole country, and they're a delicacy. But it's a nice change up. I love it, and I love the taste of them. The reason why this is the only farm is actually chestnuts they get a lot of bugs, so usually it takes a lot of pesticides. So it's a lot of work to have the organic ones. So Lad Family Farms, Kushi store, you get kushistore.com, you can phone them, and also Goldmine Natural Foods. So, and you know about the tamari, we've talked about this. The other thing I've wanted to say is there's some other condiments that I don't use for Bree, but I think of the rest of your family. There's one called sushi powder. Oh, gotta take a drink up and... Okay, talking. And tekka. Tekka is T-E-K-K-A. I'm sorry. And you always just use a bit, but this is strengthening. But it's salty, so you use a bit. Just wanted to mention these. Also, I talked to you about stress releasing, stress tea. This is it, and it's called tulsi, and it's sweet basil. It's a sweet basil, and it's energizing, relaxing, and stress releasing. For your moms, for the moms. Now, I'm just going to make sure my stove is off. And these are the 2 plates. I want to make sure I cover everything for you. Oh, I'm going to go sit with Bree, and I'll just finish up now. Hey, girlie, come on, up you get. This is her favorite toy, a bonger. It's kept her hands so flexible over the years. Food is, I so hope the moms will recognize how important food is. I mean, it's what creates our body. And, you know, when you have a vitamin and mineral-rich foods, that helps your brain function. You know, that's so important for our kids, and it strengthens the immunity, you know, in our body. Like vitamin and ripe fruits are full of antioxidants, and the antioxidants are on the first line against disease and sickness. And you know, the healthier your stomach is, the food you put in it, the healthier your immune system will be too. Besides the fact that we use vitamin D3, but that's really important. Bree's health just over the years, and it takes time, but it's so worth it. And Mom, you'll feel better. You'll look younger than your age. Macrobiotic women tend to. And even with the level of stress you're going through, because you are in it's a traumatic situation when your child is struggling, your child is sick, your child has a chromosome deletion. Bree, even though I care for her, is an absolute miracle because she wasn't supposed to live beyond 5, and she definitely has a good sized deletion. My goal is healthy and happy. Wasn't it, Sweetie? You smiling at the camera, or are you smiling at Ben? Ben is filming for us. So, Mom, your power is in the kitchen. I don't want to sound old-fashioned, but you're creating healthy people or unhealthy people. And, you know, when you're in a hospital, and I've been there, it's such a powerless situation, and none of these people, bless their hearts, are going home with you. None of the people are living the daily trauma you're living. The suggestions you're making, I've had many arguments. You know, I didn't just automatically accept to have x-rays all the time. I said if the doctor has a reason for the x-ray, fine. And of course I wasn't liked because I didn't follow the procedure, but then again, I guarantee you most of those doctors that dealt with us 35 years ago are not alive today. Because the average lifespan of a doctor is, you know, 58, and if they're lucky, into their 60s. So it's you can really, through your love and your cooking, you can this is one place you can really be hands-on in making a difference in your child. And I wish I had have known about this before Bree was born. I wish I had have known the things I know today so much earlier, so that I would have had all that going in. But anyway, Sweet Pea, was that good? Do you think Mama did okay? Hey, you want to give me a high five? Do you think so? Do you want to give Mama a high five? 8. Good. We're good.